Wow. I made a over 20-minute video about proximity and control, and it did not even pick up my audio. Sometimes it disables that. Anyway, so hey guys, this is a proximity guide video. It can also be about explain about proximity and whatnot. So if you're thinking you're a new player, you're thinking about okay, let's say you're playing as Muscovy. You're gonna because now I'm so late in the age, so it's gonna be hard to explain it otherwise. So you're probably wondering like, okay, I have a lot of locations without any proximity access, like we're zero proximity, and you're probably wondering like, what can I do to improve this? Like I'm hopeless. I'm screwed. And they are, you can see this nation, for example, Russia. Really cool, by the way, it's reformed. I think it's very impressive. You can get it by having your capital, of course, which you always have. You have the capital and it spreads proximity. And then you have your governors, local governors. It also spreads by 80% proximity. Capitals are 100%. Here's another one. Later ages, you unlock more governors by technologies, or for example, Rome, they have a bureaucracy where they actually unlock additional... Oh, now I have 2 governors. Wow. Okay, that actually explains. Did not know that. I know it was 1 at some point. Wait, when did I get another one? Interesting. That is very interesting. Very interesting. Wow. Oh my god, that is OP. I thought it was just 1. At some point it gets actually upgraded. Okay, that's interesting. Sorry about this. So proximity is, for example, we're gonna take here. It actually explains it very well. If you go from this tooltip, actually, proximity. The proximity of a location measures how close it is to the capital of its owner and determines how much control locations can have. Proximity starts at 100% in the capital of every country and jumps to nearby locations, giving them proximity. Some proximity is lost with every subsequent jump, depending on the terrain and infrastructure present in the locations, and the proximity that is lost in jumping from one location to the next one is called proximity cost. The proximity cost is between locations varies greatly with topography. That means like mountains and flatland. Very drastic changes with proximity spread and the cost of it, and vegetation on land. It can be reduced by building roads, increasing development, and land value, societal value, which you can see. Yeah, I will show it very soon. And on the sea, it can be reduced by harbor capacity and maritime presence and naval societal values. So I will show you how you can reduce it by values. So there's land value, and land value can reduce proximity speed through land, and sea is by naval. Maritime presence reduces proximity spread, and also you get the proximity cost with maritime presence by 1 point, which is actually pretty nice. It depends which one you want to, and you can push for those. For example, going for reforms, you can go for admiralty regime, and you push for 0.20. There's other ways like this one. You might not have this as an option early game, but yeah. And then you can push for land if you really need to by going for agriculture. And there's other ways too. There's even, I think, even laws. Probably here's one transportation code for land. You can push for this. And you can see, like, if I click with the proximity map mode, you can see how it spreads from the ocean to this location. And same here. You can always figure out, and in this case, you can also go like this. Let's say this location, you spread here. You can be like, okay, after it gets here, I want it to be spreading from here more affordably. You can go for something like that, for example. And where do you preferably want to put your governors? Well, obviously, if you're a seafaring nation, you want to put it on the harbor, with available harbor with great harbor capacity, natural harbor capacity. Because we have a lot of other stuff here, we can actually have a little bit more than that due to wharfs and shipyard and stuff. So we have a little bit more than that actually now. More capacity. You want to put it on a harbor, natural harbor, because if you are a seafaring nation, you also will, when you have these technologies that come in, for example, ages here, they will be spreading by trade to, for example, Constantinople market. It will right away hit your capital, and it will right away be starting spreading here because it's trading. For example, let's say it spawns here in Neapolis or southern Sicily or Italy. It comes here, and then it's like you start trading and you get it introduced here, and that's how kind of how you introduce much faster. If you notice with nations with inland, it can be harder to get the institutions spread to you because it has to go from, for example, let's say you're Hungary, it has to go from here to this trade, which will happen very fast, but then it needs to travel from this market to your market here, for example, pest market. So it's actually good to sometimes have, and of course you do want inner markets because you have another thing called market access, and you want to make sure it's actually mostly green and yellow. You don't want it to look like this if you want these raw materials, because these materials get for the most part lost in the trade. Then you can see the market access up here. Market in the access is you lose over half of your goods, like raw materials and city-based production. Anyway, I got off topic. Other ways you can increase it is by integration. Well, but you will always have this, but I will just show you this. Conquer territory minus 10% control. So if you have a, let's say you have for some reason 50 proximity control here in a small settlement, then you automatically will be having minus 10% here. So it means you will have 40% control only. But it's very unlikely you're going to have that when it's conquered territory. We're more than likely going to have a situation like me. Well, that's false. I just conquered that land. It would be basically 0. I just conquered this land, so it's not showing the true value yet. But it would be like something like this. Actually, this is the opposite of what I would want. But yeah, here's a better example. This is not something I conquered. Here's a good example. Kind of, but it's not actually true because I do have it integrated. Here's another thing. If it's integrated, you have a plus 10% control. So it's kind of true in that sense. It just would be more severe. It's actually increasing though. What's the max here? Maximum control. Okay, it's actually at max pretty much. So when it's integrated, when you integrate the land, it's always going to be like this. But if you have majority culture or accept the culture here, for example here, max control by 20%, and only primary and accepted culture can be that when it's a core settlement or city. So you can see I accepted these cultures, Neapolitans and Sicilians here, and Lombards accepted. And you can see I have a Greek majority here, it's highlighting here. We are actually getting some Greeks here in southern France now. And you can see these lands are cores because there is a majority demographic here that are Greek here, 100% Greek here. Here are Neapolitans are majority here, so it's my core. Here we can see there's another culture called Tuscan, and those are not our core. And if it's, you can see, you're wondering, okay, but there's a lot of Neapolitans here culture, but it's not the majority, so it will not be counting as an accepted core. It just will be integrated land, and you can get quite good control. You can get up to 30% control, and then some more if you have some buildings. But base 1, if you have a city on a accepted core, you can have up to 30% control, which is actually pretty decent. So you can actually have that. And then let's go for proximity here. Like, where should you build governors if you have governors? Let's say you have governors Byzantine. You're wondering where should you build one. I'm just gonna go quickly. First one you can go for. I'm gonna go through all the locations, but here's the first one. First one off, you're next to a gold mine. It's like a printing machine for you later ages or later time. But the reason why this is good is on a natural harbor, which is great for you because it can also spread by sea pretty efficiently and well if you have a good maritime presence, which you can get by buildings, as I said earlier in the video, or by going with the naval. You can go for maritime patrolling the seas, and they will increase maritime presence in highlighted sea zones. And you can automate it by right-clicking here and just selecting there all of them. You don't have to click individually. And I know some people split their navy, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. It just basically works harder, faster, but like when you have a big navy. But if you want to have like many locations being improved at once, you can split them. I'm too lazy to have that. I'm not gonna do that. This is me personally. And then also let's check this proximity capital. Why did I build and develop this city here in Stalank? It's because it's on a flat land and grassland. And it's a great place. Also, I feel like this is a good place to have a capital, governor capital, because it's next to these gold, silver and gold mines, like everywhere here, and also like copper, lead, like everywhere, like coal, iron, everything you have here. It's a great place to have in Stalang because it's also a great. I would prefer to have it, to be honest, here, but you can see it's on woods then, so I prefer it to be on this one here. It's good spread. Of course, when it goes from here and here, the spread proximity gets hit. But I still always prefer to have it on a good location to begin with. And also one reason why I chose this one is because it's on a river as well. So it spreads through these river systems here really nicely. And I even base Rome on that, like river here. Kind of not the best harbor, to be honest. I would probably choose Neapolis, but I went for this as a tryout and I actually kind of liked it. To be honest. Then I went for here instead of Venice, which is isolated. I went for this harbor, which is also 0.1 harbor capacity. So we went for this one instead of Venice, and it's actually pretty good because it's on a river as well. And you're getting a land proximity here. So I will show you the proximity. It's pretty okay. Another other one. This I went for. Oh, sorry. So this one I went for kind of like because I just had an extra governor and it just was like, okay, let's just get control in southern France. So I went for this one. It's also on a harbor. It's also on a harbor and also on a river. And great proximity spread here. I don't have the topography map mode. Let's see if we can find it. I want to see topography. Like you see, it's a great flat land. So here it will spread so well into this land here. And vegetation, really good for spreading, like grassland. So these are ways you can think about where you want your governor. You don't want to put your governor like, let's say you're like, oh my god, yeah, let's put one here. It's gonna cool here, but it's on a mountain and woods and not the greatest harbor capacity. You don't want to do that. Actually think where you want to put it. And here, actually, a long time ago, a guy came here and he was like, he tried Alexandria and he tried here having a governor, which he actually liked because it's a big population. But he said this location was really good for him. And I don't think he realized why exactly might have been good for him. Why he made so much money from this region compared to what's it called? It's not upper delta, it's lower delta. I don't think he ever realized why it was so good. It's not that it's like more population or anything. I think it's all because of this market thing. So this market, here's the range. We don't get to trade with India yet. But with this H5, when I reach some trade range, we can actually trade with India. And I think that's how he made a bank. He could actually be trading with India here. Getting very important goods here. And when you get access here, we can trade with the rest of Europe here. And population. I think that's why he made so much money from Damascus. And also, if you go for Baghdad, you can already be trading with India here quite well, and you can get all these vital spices and everything. This is like an off thing. It's just something interesting I thought about. Now that I think about it, I think that's why he liked that thing, but he never realized why it was exactly good. I think I'm just guessing. Also, like when I have governor here, it's good to have it on a market. I did not put this market; it was here already. Try to put it here. If I was more clever, I would put it. You can also change these markets, but I honestly should be changing it in Neapolis. But I do it, and it will be easy. You can also change markets very easily. Let's see if I find a map here. Here can change. I think where was it? Relocate. Like you can relocate these markets if you want. In that case, you don't have to destroy them and rebuild them. Don't do that. This is like off from proximity. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. I don't know if I have anything else to say here, really. Maybe there's something else I forgot. Also, yeah, we already, I already mentioned, but roads and everything, they do to make a difference. And let's check this one. Like you can see here, you can build a proximity. We can go from C here, and then you can build some roads here if you want to spread. I don't know if I talked about it in this video because I'm basically redoing the video that I did not do, or I did. I recorded it, but it's just I didn't have audio on. That is so sad. I got 20 minutes down the drain, but I feel like this video is even better because I more efficiently talk about things, even though I feel like the other video was really excellent. But yeah, this is something I would go for. Also, hey, yeah, we did not talk about it, but you can get maritime presence. It will help it spread with the proximity in like technologies. Let's see here, maritime presence, probably is here, maritime. Let's see, yeah, here in pretty much every age you get these. Always go for these, like really good ones. And they're usually also accounting for something else. You get like proximity usually with it. Like on the same branch, maritime presence here. Let's check here. Please go for these. Are actually very good for like a large empire. And you get proximity cost without maritime presence. Like amazing things to go for. Please go for these. Like it actually matters for a big empire, especially if you're not pushing for sea-based naval value. And this another one I really like. Maritime presence, proximity cost without maritime presence. Like so many of these are good, and there's probably like other ones. I'm not gonna go through all of these things. But yeah, when you get proximity, you can also change cultures more efficiently. You can change religion more efficient. If you don't have any control, for example here, it's hopeless. There's for some reason I can change one, but you can see already here we can change culture, or I mean religion we can change, and you can see it's really easy here. And here it's already quite a lot of orthodoxy, but it's really good. And when you want to convert culture, let's check a place where we're changing culture. I think here we are actually. I'm going to show you how good it is with good control. My governor is here, and you can see religion and culture being changed so well. It is madness. Yeah, so it actually matters quite a lot. Your proximity and control, especially on newly conquered territory where you want to be starting to change into orthodoxy, where you want to be changing into your culture and everything. But yeah, this is basically what I wanted to talk about. Hopefully this video was helpful for new beginners and new players who are kind of know about the things, but maybe they are not fully maximizing the potential of their nation. If you find it helpful, this video, make sure to like it, subscribe to my channel. I stream every day playing playthroughs, cool playthroughs. We go for like RP style playthroughs as well. We don't min-max, we don't exploit. Personally, I don't like doing that. If you like that kind of content, you like chill, making laughs and jokes and like that, make sure to tune into my streams and everything like that. And thank you guys so much for supporting my streams. Thank you so much for supporting my YouTube channel. It means so much to me. Thank you guys so much. It is absolutely unreal how much support you guys are giving to me. And for that, thank you for watching. See you on the next video, next subject, next guide, next. I actually want to post like playthroughs of cool tags before. I actually want to do that, and that would be so cool. So stay tuned for that as well. But for that now, I think that's gonna be it for us, and we'll see you guys on the next video on stream. Bye bye, guys.